What's up, motherfuckers? This is your brother Tesla here at the Cult of Scientism, and today I'm coming at you with some fucking news. That's right, some news! Kristen has made some rather, dumbass comments about fossils. I am here to rectify that shit with some experts from in the field. Such as Rachel Nanon Brown. She's our resident paleontologist scientist person. We're going to go live to her in the field here in a second, but first, let's hear from Kristen herself. Kristen, how you doing?
Hello. So I wanted to talk tonight a little bit about fossils that are found in the ground. And I guess I'll start a little bit about what the fossils actually are, and then go into a little bit about the composition and what they end up being when everything is said and done.
We're going to get Rachel in here in just a few fucking minutes, but let's just hear exactly how dumb as shit you are.
A fossil is not actually a piece of bone.
You're not starting off good by putting air quotes behind fossil. Bet you can hold them in your hand.
Was once in the ground that has been then filled with limestone, calcium, and other kind of stone-like deposits over the course of many, many years. And at the end of the day, it ends up looking like a bone, but it's not really a bone. It's really a rock inside of rock. So you have a rock this big, and you say, okay, inside this rock this big, there's a bunch of fossils. Here you go. And you hand the rock off to a paleontologist, and the paleontologist takes a little mallet and they chip away at it, and at some point they come out with something looking like a bone, and that's a fossil.
Alright, hold up, Kristen. I'm gonna let you finish here in a minute, but first, let's head on over to our scientist in the field, Rachel Nanon Brown, and see what's down with the fossils. Rachel, why don't you school this woman on fossils?
Hey John, good to see you again. Thanks for asking for my input on this video, even though I'm not quite sure if she's actually for real or not, because everything she says is completely ridiculous, to the point where I almost feel like we don't even need to respond. But since she put it out there, and she's making some scientific claims against what I do, I probably should respond. So I'm gonna just go over kind of quickly these claims that she has about paleontology, since I've done work in paleontology, not only in the field but in the labs. I've assisted in research, so I'm pretty much who she's talking about when it comes to like constructing dinosaur skulls for millions of dollars that no paleontologist has ever seen. Paleontologists don't go into paleontology for money. It's usually just for interest, because it's not the money maker. But I also have a couple pictures just as proof that fossils are not just rock chiseled into shapes. And a person doesn't just give a rock to a paleontologist and then they make something out of it. The paleontologists are the ones that are out on the field, and they're the ones that would be either discovering or at least responding to claims from amateurs or from other paleontologists that there's fossils in the area, and they're never just given a rock and then told to just make something, or else their job is at stake. Never seen that with any paleontologist I've ever worked with. And so when she's making these claims, it's very interesting, because I absolutely know she's never, ever experienced going into the field. She's probably never even seen a fossil, if, we're actually assuming she's being for real right now. But here's a couple pictures of not only bone, but also I have some pictures of fossils. So the first one would be actually bone. This one is a mammoth skeleton, and that is still bone because it's not old enough to fossilize yet. And this is a picture of me in the lab with it. So I have worked with bone in the field as well as in the labs. Definitely never have constructed something out of rock, but that's bone. So the next pictures are me in the field out in Arlington, Texas, where I myself find fossils. I'm not given a piece of rock and then told what it's supposed to be, and then I construct something. I literally sit in front of a hill with tools, and I find the fossils myself. And they're not bone. They are rock that are completely different from the surrounding sediment. It's not just rock in rock. It's actually usually clays and pre-carbonized wood. So whenever I find them, I not only am able to retrieve them myself, but I also transport them. I've transported them to university, in which I then worked on myself. I've also been able to recover the fossils, transport them to now Pro Museum, the Science Museum, in which they're added to the collections there. And I can absolutely for sure tell you that no one is given rock and then told to make a skull, and then a skull is chiseled out of rock. And that's also assuming that the rock that I guess would be the original rock is the same as the fossilized rock. It's actually not. They're completely different. Usually, if you work rock with rock, it's very difficult. But there is a difference between the fossilized rock and the rock surrounding it. That's how you tell the difference between the fossil and the rock. But just to make it easy, I've worked with rock inside soft sediments. So you cannot construct the fossils that I've worked with from the field into the labs. There's no way you could make those from the sediment that they're found in which I have pictures of. So here's a pelvis and a shoulder blade scapula of a crocodiliform. It's about 100 million years old, and I was there when that was found. And this picture is the top of the head of a crocodiliform, a pre-crocodile, found in the sediments. It's not rock. And this is me with Dr. Derek Main last season, digging up a hadrosaur limb bone. Again, it is rock within sediment. It's not rock within rock. So even if the claim that you could chisel a rock into a fossil made sense, which it doesn't, that would not explain at all anything I've ever worked with for the past 2 years. So the last claim I wanted to address was the idea that the first fossil ever found was found after we came up with the idea of the dinosaurs. And even though we did come up with mythicized giant creatures that did not resemble dinosaurs whatsoever, dinosaurs are a very specific group of advanced reptiles. So even if you were to take a pot and draw a giant iguana on it, and you could claim that was a dinosaur, that is so vague, it makes no sense. So even if you want to claim that these weird forms on pottery or walls or whatever you want are us saying that these are dinosaurs, and then once we started to collect fossils, we went, those fossils are obviously the bones of these things we used to paint. No. That's completely ridiculous. That's completely ridiculous. There's hundreds of forms of not only dinosaurs, but things called cynodonts, which are the mammalian ancestors. They're actually right after our reptilian ancestors who developed into to mammals. I mean, you have fossilized fish, you have fossilized shelled creatures, you have fossilized all sorts of things other than dinosaurs. So to claim that we made up some sort of creature that looked big and then found the fossils and then went, oh, now we're going to start chiseling rock to match the painting that we made that's really vague, doesn't actually address any of the other time periods or creatures. So it's just awful. It's just an awful claim. I don't think I even need to go any more into that, because hopefully most people realize how just dumb that whole entire reasoning is. I'm done thinking about it.
We don't exactly want to be acting all like we're biased and shit, because we're scientists, you know? And as we all know, Christians, they like to be all biased and only provide one side of the argument. So, here for the counter is Pastor J. You might know him from the time I hacked his channel, and then he hacked me back, and then I secured my shit down tight. Pastor, how you doing, motherfucker?
I'm doing good, and watch your language.
What do you think about this woman saying that dinosaurs aren't real and shit?
Well, obviously, she's wrong. Any good Christian knows that dinosaurs do exist. They just don't exist on this planet. They existed at one time, sure, but anybody that's listened to me knows that they actually came from Mars. So technically, she's right. It just depends on the context that you're using it in. The 3 or 4 that were able to make it onto the Ark and onto this planet died when they breathed in Earth's atmosphere. So if anybody ever found any of these fossils, they are literally finding the fossils of those few dinosaurs that were on the Ark. This woman is neither wrong or right. She just has her information skewed, except for the parts where the bones are actually rock. That's Satan. Satan literally turned rocks into bones. That's as clear as I can get. From my church and to your audience, and on behalf of the members of Know the Truth, this is the blessed Dr. Pastor J. Thanks for having me, John.
Pastor J, are you really that dumb? Are you just seriously dumb as fuck? First of all, we all know Jesus ain't coming back, okay? He left on out of here and he flipped us the bird and he said, fuck you, I ain't coming back. Number 2, I know all of you creationist son bitches think that you're all smart and shit. You ain't got science. You deny science. You like to praise the rapist in the sky. You like to give up all your hard-earned work up to the rapist in the sky. You like to beg that rapist for forgiveness, too. Motherfucker, shut up, please. Rachel, what do you think about Pastor J and his opinion?
What do I think of Pastor J? Well, I would say he is the cockiest son of a bitch I've ever met, and nothing he says is based on evidence. Nothing. And
I'm a super nice person, right?
I never said that. You're actually an asshole, but you're pretty hot.
What I thought, we on the same playing ground. Well, that's it, motherfuckers, for Scientism News. Be sure to tune in later when we go over some more of this crazy-ass woman's bullshit she's got on her channel. Because Christians deny dinosaurs' existence just as much as I deny Jesus' existence. And don't forget your crowbar. The fuck is that thing?
So, here's the question that I pose. Now, the first fossil that was ever found was actually after they came up with the idea of a dinosaur, right? That seems a little bit far-fetched, right? Why would the bone that was found or the fossil that was found actually be the exact same thing as what was originally hypothesized without any other evidence? It doesn't make any sense. So now I give to you. Here, you're my paleontologist. Turn that into what it was before I ripped it apart.
Damn, girl, you fucked up in the head, aren't you?
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just